ArdrethShadow here, and welcome back to Doki Doki Blue Skies. You were probably wondering if I was ever going to do this, if anyone ever thought I was going to at all. Well, I guess you can say I'm still trying to figure out how in the world I'm going to make this video work. But I guess the easiest thing for me to do would be to first off... Well, if I check the music really quickly, so... I'm still... Well, to be fair, I didn't really get any other additional music pieces. I'm still missing Smiling Sweetly on Sunday and Time Out. I was able to unlock Monika's menu, but I believe you can only get that from actually completing the game, all three good routes, or all three good endings. So, yeah, if Monika did have her own route and her own menu, this is what we would be hearing, I suppose. And, of course, what I wanted to actually go through. So as it says here, we know that players are disappointed by the exclusion of Monika, so here are the scenes that unfortunately couldn't make it into the final, or into the completed mod. And as I mentioned a lot in the original videos, they did put out some various story notes. Like, there was actually an outline that goes all the way up until, like, what they would have proposed being the end of Act 2, and then a short beginning to Act 3, as well as a general outline of some of the general plot elements. But anyways, well, I'm finally going to go through Monika's first exclusive. So, let's go right into it. I guess everyone already has their pre-established routines here. I'd kind of like to talk to someone, but I wouldn't want to bother anyone either. It's always a bit hard to fit in with a group that's been together a while, at least when you first try to join. Yeah, that's how I felt when I joined my college's anime club. Because they'd been around for... Well, at least to me it felt like they'd been along for forever, and then here I come, the new guy, and I'm like, yeah, hi, I'm very shy and nervous, and don't mind me, and... Well, I eventually got over that. But, I mean, eventually I had to kind of ease my way into it. The difference between the levels of familiarity usually make things a bit awkward. Although I can't complain much, these girls have been far more welcoming than they needed to be. Plus, I sneak a peek over at Monika and Sayori, who are still talking animatedly. Stupid sexy Monika! Okay, no. Sayori is chattering on, waving her arms around energetically to make some sort of point. We should have the airplane land over here like this! Meanwhile, Monika looks on with a thoughtful expression. But Sayori, where would we get an airplane? I don't know, just work with me on this! I catch a few snippets of their conversation. We're probably going to seem really lame compared to all the other clubs, though. I guess the literature club doesn't have too much going on for it at the moment. But then, I've always been part of the Go Home Club myself, so I can't speak much about it. I recently found out that I think somebody finally did make a mod called Doki Doki Go Home Club. I want to see if I can find it. It's truly a stroke of luck that one club I managed to join had Monika presiding over it. Ah, he's interested in Monika for some reason. Not because this is aimed directly at Monika. To be fair, she's way out of my league, but it doesn't hurt to get to hang around the second year's idol. Actually, now that I think about it, I don't think anyone really knew that she was the president of the literature club, myself included. And I guess minor spoil... Well, if you watch the whole series, then... Well, I I would like to imagine that people who would be watching this video have seen at least most of the series already, but apparently not even her parents even knew that she was the president of the literature club. They thought that she was still in the debate club. Which is kind of strange considering how she's always been at the forefront of all her activities. I'm pretty sure that she's the captain of the girls' tennis team, and as of yesterday, she was the president of the debate club last year. Or, is she still? Or, huh? Okay. And as she said yesterday, she was... Okay, well, she was, so I guess you mean, like... Yeah, she left the debate club in the original game, so... Geez, I just realized, president of a huge and active club as a first year? I know, that sounds pretty ambitious, don't you think? Only Monika could pull something off like that. But then she quit the debate club for this one. I guess that she didn't publicize it on purpose to avoid anyone joining the club just to hang around her. Yeah, all the beautiful people. Not a bad idea, even though this club just barely makes the cutoff in its number of members. Or, even though this club just barely makes the cutoff in its number of members, each and every one of these girls is enthusiastic about literature. Some more than others, in certain ways. Quality over quantity, after all. Yeah. You'd rather be surrounding yourself... I guess... what am I trying to say? You wouldn't want to surround yourself with bad company. Like, would you really want to surround yourself with 50 people who don't really give a damn about you or what you're doing? Or would you rather surround yourself with like 5 people who do legitimately care about you and what you're doing? You know? Just goes to show, Monika's truly passionate about this club. Wait, I'm one of those members now. Really? I didn't know that! Gotta step up my game. Come on, step it up! That is, if I had one! Sorry, I lost the happy. But the happy's back. Speaking of games, I'm in one right now! I pull my phone out. Really, pal? I pull my phone out of my bag and turn it on, looking around to check if anyone's paying attention. Oh my god, really? Gonna play some Flappy Bird or whatever they play these days. They're all absorbed in whatever they're doing. Oh right, this is the dimension where Monika hates me. Good. Now I can check my game for daily rewards, maybe even finish a quest or two while I've got nothing to do. Alright, I'm gonna play some Dragalia Lost and pray that it doesn't crash on me for the 50th time in this hour. I really should be doing something literature related, but... well, there's a lot of reading in Dragalia Lost. Well, to be fair, this game is like half visual novel, half RPG. Actually, yes. Coincidentally, Dragalia Lost does have RPG stuff, but then there's a whole lot of reading to it as well, and strategy. Emphasis on the novel part. That's literature enough, right? So you say. Well, I would like to think that you could consider visual novels literature. I'll just do something productive after one quest. One tiny, simple quest. And pray that the game doesn't crash on me because I don't know what the hell Nintendo does with their quality control. Just one. 50 quests later. Just one more archdevil to slay. Then I'll have enough skins to finish this godforsaken fetch quest, and have the horns for the trapper quest down the line. Plus, I got some demon eyes from all that senseless killing. He even admits it's senseless killing. Oh, the crafting possibilities that opens. I swear that there used to be more archdevils. I swear that there used to be more archdevils spawned in this area, though. Don't tell me we're hunting them to extinction or something. I'll just have to wait a bit for them to respawn, I guess. Or maybe I should switch over to my main account and trade for those skins I need on this account. Oh my... That's like me with Fire Emblem Heroes. I have 2 accounts for Fire Emblem Heroes. But unfortunately, I can't trade in Fire Emblem Heroes, otherwise I would be stupidly overpowered. I could combine all my best teams into one. Daniel! I jump, then guiltily look around. A lot of time seems to have passed, enough that Monika and Sayori have apparently finished their conversation. I really have no self-control, do I? No, you were here like just one quest, just one simple quest, and then 50 quests later. Hey Monika! Hey Monika, hey Monika. What's up? That's all you have to say for yourself? I thought you'd join this club to get into literature, not play games on your phone. Geez, I'm not trying to be your mom, but you need some discipline. Yeah. Sorry, I just got caught up in it. It's sort of addicting. Oh, those gacha games. You know, they have you getting all the in-game currency, trying to get your in-game waifus, just for the game to give you the middle finger and say, screw you, and give you so many of Ray and Bart, or however many, or whoever's the worst unit, or the most overdone unit. I mean, they kind of designed the game to be addicting, so that way you spend more time and then spend more money to get more stuff. Excuses, excuses. She probably thinks I'm some kind of no-life otaku now. Yeah. And this is before... I think this is before the festival, right? So this is before I start saying that I think Monika hates me. So now she really hates you. Not that she'd be wrong, but... Well, if you're not going to be doing anything constructive with your time right now, why don't you help me out? Do something useful for once. I've got a ton of work to do today, and I'd really appreciate it. Stupid sexy Monika! Having to do work isn't too bad a payoff for getting to see Monika's irresistible smile. That damn smile. I sold my soul for that oh-so-beautiful, irresistible damn smile. Besides, I'm not doing anything anyway. Nope. My game can wait. Probably. It can wait. Just put it away for once. Especially when you have her right in front of you. You don't need that game when Monika's right in front of you. Sure thing! What do you need me to do? I will jump off a cliff into the ocean below to plunge submerged treasure in your name. You just say the word and I shall go. Okay, no. As I say that, I stand up and stretch, wincing as my legs tingle from pins and needles. Yeah, that happens when you're sitting there for like 12 hours. Well, for one thing, could you hold these papers for me while I get out my laptop? I nod, and she hands me a thick sheaf of papers. Extra thick. Extra thick! Oh man, I don't really envy her position. She must have to do so much paperwork. Yeah, you could say that she's up to her knees on filing. Maybe even more. Monika sits down in the seat next to me, pulling a sleek silver laptop out of her school bag. I bet her rich parents got her that laptop. Huh, I thought that laptops weren't allowed to be used in the school buildings. Normally they aren't, but I talked to my teachers and they gave me permission to use it, after I proved that they could trust me with it. It really does make work a lot more efficient, you know. It sure does. My in my first year, my high school actually let us have laptops. But then, I don't know, they kind of changed their minds afterwards when it got a bit too costly. And, yeah, I should add that those were the school's laptops, so they didn't really outright give them to us. It's more like they lent them to us to use our activities. And, yeah, so we pretty much had to do a lot of our work through those laptops. Man, you really aren't a normal high school student, are you? You have no idea. It's just a matter of setting a good present for yourself in the teacher's eyes. Anyway, you're not one to talk. You're not allude. Oops. You're not allowed to use cell phones in the school buildings either. I mean, can you say that a rule's broken when there's no one around to enforce the rules? Yes, I can say that. That doesn't even make sense. What do you mean? Yes, it does. If anything, if you're still in the school building, you shouldn't even be screwing around like that. Once you get off the premises, then it's okay to use your phone, because you're not breaking any rules, and you don't have to worry about anyone coming around and being like, hey, I saw you on your phone. You know, like a tree falling down when no one's around to hear it thing. Like the tree falling down when no one's around to hear it thing. Monika gives me a stern expression at first, but then it quickly breaks down with a giggle. It's no wonder you got into literature, Daniel, given the amount of time you spend playing around. What is that? Okay, now I'm the one who's here like, what does that mean? That doesn't even make sense. Hey, I do some work. Sometimes. Okay, well. You know what they say, always hire lazy people, because they'll finish what they have to do in the quickest and most efficient way possible. You mean like Jim Halpert in The Office? Or something like that. You see, that's why you don't get these privileges. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Miss Queen of the school. Here's your crown, your majesty! I am not worthy to be in your presence! You have to work hard to earn the things you want. Okay, well I guess joking aside, yeah. Now we're starting to get some hints into her personal life here. A sigh escapes from her lips as she powers on her laptop. I'll have to admit, working hard isn't all that fun though. No, especially with her parents. Don't you ever do random fun things in your free time? What free time? Like any hobbies? Besides tennis, I mean. A hint of blush slowly develops on her face. Like what? Like bungee jumping. Sorry, I forgot you probably don't have a lot of downtime. What is free time? Can I eat it? But yeah, things like playing video games, watching shows, drawing. Well, I mean, she has to do her poetry work, right? Oh, reading too. Yes, because you need to read books in a literature club. Anything that acts as a stress relief. I mean, I'd have to say reading and writing then, given that I'm leading the school's literature club. And playing the piano as well. Well, those hobbies are pretty fitting for a top student. I sneak a peek at Monika's laptop screen when she's logged in. No looking! The background looks like a default one, with swirls of gentle blues and greens filling the screen. You mean kind of like mine? There aren't many icons, just the typical internet and productivity ones. Okay, well that's definitely not like mine. I swear my desktop is so cluttered with so many different programs and files. There's a single folder labeled school, breaking up the default icons. Yeah, like I literally have like my documents, my HitFilm Express files, my Let's Play files, my Steam game files, and who knows what else. Suffice to say, her desktop is exceedingly sparse. You don't use your laptop much, huh? Not really, mostly for schoolwork and things like that. I'm basically the total opposite. I can spend hours surfing the internet. An almost wistful expression appears on her face. She's here like, I wish I could do that. You don't have much going on for you, do you? Are you calling me a loser? In terms of schoolwork and clubs and stuff, I guess not. Which is another reason why I'm glad that I'm in the literature club now. It's stopping me from just whiling the days away. Sorry. It gives me a purpose. You give me a sense of purpose, Monika. You complete me. Okay, no. What the hell was that? That was just me taking The Dark Knight out of context. When he's like, no, you complete me. When Batman's there like, why walk over? I'm really glad for that, Daniel. That gentle smile just melts my heart. To think that my efforts could be such a good influence. Not that I'm trying to go on an ego trip or anything, of course. It's just nice to see the benefits of my work. Don't worry, I get what you're saying. But you can't just work all day, you know. Because you know what they say, all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. And you know what happened to Jack. He went crazy and tried to kill his wife and kids in this crazy hotel. And then he froze to death inside of a hedge maze. Yeah, so that's what happens. You'll go crazy like Jack Torrance did. That much stress could start impacting your health. And your sanity. That's true. She sighs again. A heavier sigh that just radiates exhaustion. Exactly, she's overworking herself and she has no way out. But what am I supposed to do? I can't help it if there's a lot going on. Well, just take it one step at a time, starting now. That's what my aunt used to tell me whenever I got overwhelmed. You can take a break right now. After all, it's club allocated time anyway. Oh no. Come on, you're supposed to be doing club activities anyway, not work. Well... She gives me a doubtful look and plays with the ends of a strand of hair. Alright, I guess you're right. What do you want to do then? Even though she's supposed to be taking a break now, Monika looks pretty miserable at the thought of not working. Yeah, that is just... Poor Monika. It's almost as if the thought of having free time to do anything that isn't working is so foreign to her. Is she really that much of a workaholic? Hopefully I can cheer her up, and not make her hate you any more than she already does. Your laptop's Your laptop's from a pretty good brand, but I'm guessing you've never played games on it. That's right. Are there any types of games you like playing? I'm not really into games. Okay, well in that case, we're not compatible. Okay, bye! Okay, no. Well, what's the last game you've played? That's it, I'm done. Okay, no. I've never played any video games before. What? 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 Huh? Really? What have you been doing with your life? You think I'd lie about it? Oh no, she hates me now. Ah crap, she seems kind of annoyed now. Great going, genius! Okay, well, I kind of added to that. Sorry, it's just that video games are such a huge part of my life, and it's kind of a shocker to realize that it's not a part of everyone's life. Yeah. Monika sighs yet again. Damn it, Monika hates me. I wonder how many times I'm going to make her sigh today. Yeah, I'm supposed to make her laugh, not make her sigh. What kind of good potential boyfriend am I if I just do that and not make her laugh? But you've never played any type of video game in your life? No arcade games or virtual pets even? You know, like, I had plenty of virtual pet games. Like, I think I even had a Tamagotchi at some point. Whatever happened to that? Well, case in point. I think that's what happened to everyone's Tamagotchi at some point. I'm afraid not. I just never really had the time to get into them. Well then, let's start now. I'll get you a Steam account and everything going. My parents are kind of strict too, so... I've never had to completely introduce anyone to the world of video games before. The prospect of doing so is exciting, yet frightening. Well, I'm sure that there are a lot that would suit you. How about visual novels? There's a ton of reading-intensive and story-driven games out there. Yeah, kind of like Final Fantasy. Although, okay, well... I mean, if you ignore the... Or what am I trying to say? I know a lot of people argue that if you spend more time, like, watching than actually playing the game, that's not a real game, but... I mean, a lot of those games have a very fantastic story. Like, if you were to take Final Fantasy VI, or even Final Fantasy VII. Of course, yeah, you still have the gameplay elements and the RPG stuff in there, but still. If you But if you look at the reading intensive and story elements of it, well, there you go. There are probably even poetry related ones too. Like Mario Teaches Typing. Okay, no, don't play that. It has a scary disembodied Mario head who does things like, he says things like, "Ooh, nice computer you have there. Can I have it?" Monika raises an eyebrow, shooting me a skeptical look. Stop hating me. I just wanted you to love me. Look, hand over your laptop and I'll show you. Don't worry, I won't wreck it or anything, I promise. With a slight hesitation, she allows me to take over her laptop. And that's when I grabbed it with both my hands, lifted it over my head, and threw it to the ground. Okay, no. Alright, what to start with? In the end, I settle on downloading an otome game for her. I haven't played many of these, considering they're basically dating sims geared toward women, but Monika might get a kick out of it. You mean kind of like how I play Blush Blush even though I'm a guy and it feels super awkward for me? It's a fairly silly one too, where instead of guys, you date cats. What was that? Sad Panda Studios was making a game called Kitty Casanova. And I think that's basically the same idea. You date cats. I don't know if it's out yet or whatever happened to it, but... Okay, well... So we're basically making her play Kitty Casanova. A game that isn't out yet. Not even anthropomorphic cats, just regular old cats. Okay, so it's basically a Hatoful boyfriend, except with cats. I load up the game and watch Monika's expression change to one of bewilderment as a glittery lavender title screen featuring photos of cats fills the laptop's display. A gentle, tinkling melody sounds from the laptop speakers. Okay, well, the game answered my question about Hatoful boyfriend. Nekoful boyfriend? I grin at her and begin the game. What'd I just get myself into? For a one-of-a-kind chance in a lifetime. Something extremely fun and life-changing, obviously. Okay, well, that too. As we read through the opening dialogue, I notice Monika's expression slowly relaxing. She likes me! A sparkle appears in her eyes as the comedy and absurdity of the game start to get to her. She even starts chuckling at some of the lines, although I can tell that she's trying to suppress it. But as we continue, I realize that she's nearly leaning out of her seat to look at the laptop on my desk. Here, let's move our desks together so that it's easy for you to see. Ah, good idea! I slide my desk up to Monika's and move the laptop so that it's between the two of us. Okay, well, see, this is a work in progress, sorry. Well, I mean, I guess you get the basic idea, though. So, Monika's staring at the laptop with the kitties on him. And she's really enjoying it. By the way, I've played through this game already, so you can progress the text yourself now. Besides, you probably read way faster than I do, because I usually read books. Thanks, Daniel. That's pretty thoughtful of you. I like that in a man. What? What? Now that we're sitting so close together, we're practically pressed up against each other. I can't help but think about how warm she feels against me. Sneaking a peek at her face, it doesn't seem like she's realized the situation we're in. Yeah, she's too busy looking at Nekoful boyfriend to realize, oh hey, we're getting up close and personal here. Or maybe she's just used to it. Oh jeez. After all, it wouldn't be surprising if she had a lot of experience with love. Interesting thought there. In fact, there are plenty of guys who would kill to be in my position right now. So maybe this is totally normal for her. Okay, well, I guess I'm gonna go with my thoughts here that, yeah, she's the class star and a lot of guys like want to date her and whatever, but given how strict her parents are and how they pretty much force her to work and go to cram school and all this other jazz, I honestly wouldn't be too surprised if Monika had next to no experience with love whatsoever, because she never ever had the time for it. Because obviously, how would you be able to fit having a boyfriend in between whatever the hell her parents want her to do, you know? Come to think of it, this might be totally normal in general. Maybe I've just been isolating myself from everyone so much that I've been missing out on a regular high school life. I really don't want to end up a handholdless and kissless high school graduate. But is it really possible that someone could like me in that way? I don't know. Well, I mean, that's the name of the game here. Well, I should probably just focus on the here and now instead of thinking about depressing things like that. Yeah, otherwise you're going to make yourself depressed. At any rate, Monika's doing that right now. She's in the here and now. She's completely absorbed in the game. Nothing else exists right now. What is this choice? That's what I say a lot. How am I supposed to choose between Yuta and Sakataro? I'm really glad that she's enjoying this. I don't know what I would have done if she ended up hating all video games. She would hate me. Just goes to show, seemingly perfect students are people too. Yeah, and that's why one thing I say is that sometimes, like, idolizing someone and putting them up on a pedestal, that's not really the best way to go about it. At the end of the day, they're still people too, so no matter how popular or perfect they might seem, you know. You know, when you suggested that we play games together, I didn't expect you to show me a weird dating thing. Really? Hey, I thought that a visual novel would be a good way for you to dip your toes into the waters of gaming. It's funny too, and I figured that the humor could help you with your stress. Well, you figured correctly, because this is actually really funny. We don't have the funny lady here, so... But, well, it's good that she's enjoying herself at least. Anyway, more importantly, whose route are you going after? Like, who do you want to romance? They're not real people, so it's hard to say. Don't worry, we'll get her more used to this. I mean, considering right now there's literally a poll from Team Salvato about who is the best girl. You know, I think a lot of the players out there don't care that they're not real people. Just pretend that they are that they are real people. I think that sounds a little better. Well, I think I'd have to pick Kazuichi. He's really kind-hearted, and it seems like he's the type to listen without holding any judgments. He doesn't talk a lot, but he really listens. He's gentle, yet strong and reliable, so you get a feeling of comfort from him. Not to mention, he's really smart too. Unlike you. So I'm guessing that that's your type then. Oh, Monika's cheeks faintly redden at my words. Wouldn't you like to know? What? No, either way, you have good taste. His route is pretty interesting. Hey, don't you spoil anything. Alright, alright. Just watch out for all the flags then. Flags? Yep, they're events and lines of dialogue that have heavy foreshadowing. For instance, if Kazuichi told you something like, "You'll never leave me, will you?" that might be a death flag. In other words, if you answer wrong, it's game over. And you won't have manly badass hero to come and save you. Or at least something will probably happen in the future to separate the two of you. So you need to make the right choices. So basically, do the opposite of everything I did in the first few videos for Natsuki, Yuri, and Sayori that freaking broke me. I see. You'll never leave me, will you, Daniel? Or, you'll never... Hold on, let me see. You'll never leave me, will you, Daniel? Yeah, that was my reaction. Why are you asking me this? I'm not your boyfriend or anything. You better watch out for your impending doom now. Oh. God. Is Monika really gonna try to kill me in my sleep? That's not a line I ever expected to come out of Monika's mouth. That's not how it works, anyway. Well, you didn't see what happened to Natsuki, Yuri, and Sayori. So, they met their impending demise, all because they chose the wrong choices. The death flag pops up for the person who says the line, not for the player, or me, I guess. My bad then. That line was really too cheesy, though. It's so cheesy. I could barely keep a straight face while saying it. To be honest, I wouldn't mind if Monika said that kind of thing to me more, though. Not a romantic type, then, Not a romantic type, then?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Stupid sexy Monika, why are you messing with me? Trying to be the mysterious type, then, huh? Oh, kept you waiting then, huh? Otacon, what do I do now?
Snake? Why are you asking me all this?
I don't know, Otacon. I just don't know. I don't want to ask Mei Ling, because do you know how embarrassing that would be? And I don't know if the Colonel would know anything.
Hey, I'm not a visual novel character, alright?
That's what you think.
You can't just box a person into an archetype.
So you say.
Let's just focus on the game again.
Oh geez, look at the time. See?
Sorry Daniel, I totally lost track of the time. We should actually get back to sharing poems now.
That's alright, I'd forgotten about the time as well. Wasn't this romantic? I guess that's a mark of how engrossing the game is.
The conversation wasn't that bad either.
Glad my route isn't too boring. Honestly though, I'm really happy that you liked the game.
Thanks for showing it to me. Thanks for listening.
Sailor Moon says.
I needed a laugh, and a silly game like that was just perfect. I like to think that I have a good sense of humor, and its writing hit the nail on its head.
Does that mean that I have good taste then? I see you're also a man of good taste, or I see you're also a cultured individual, or a man of culture as well.
Maybe.
Well, shall we get going, milady? Okay, shall we get going? Monika nods, but then pauses a little.
Hey Daniel. Sorry that I was a bit short with you before. If I seem irritable sometimes, just know that it's not anyone's fault. It's just really easy to get stressed with all the responsibilities I have to deal with.
It's fine, really. I'm used to people hating me. Okay, no. Everyone has their off days.
Well, thanks. Okay, everyone. Let's all share our poems while we still have some time left.
I haven't really thought about it until now, but Monika's kind of reserved, isn't she? Yeah, in this case, she really does keep to herself most of the time. And it seems like she doesn't outwardly express herself very often. But I mean, I guess she hardly ever has the chance to, sadly. She's definitely not shy, but I think that she puts a lot of effort into maintaining a certain image. Exactly. I keep using this analogy, but she's basically trying to be the perfect wind-up doll for her parents. Perfect and doing everything it's supposed to do as it's expected to. No sort of imperfections or deviations in any manner. I get the feeling that it might be hard to get to know her true self. And maybe there's a chance that Monika doesn't even know her true self. And she needs somebody to kind of help her make that journey of self-discovery. Okay. Monika's second exclusive. Okay, I wonder what point are we on, or what point would this be at now? Hey Monika, what are you up to? I guess this would be the next day. I approach Monika, who's sitting at a desk and doing some sort of work as usual. She responds to me without looking up.
Hi Daniel, I'm just finishing up some paperwork.
I slide into the desk beside her. I'm guessing that it's for the club? Finally glancing up from her papers, she smiles sheepishly.
Yeah, about that. These are actually unrelated to the club.
Monika, didn't we talk about taking much-needed breaks yesterday? Okay, there we go.
I know. These are really important, though. They're forms I need to fill out as class rep. I won't have time to finish them at home today, so I'm just doing them now.
How much do you have to fill out?
Not much more. I'm nearly done.
We lapse into silence as Monika's pen continues to move down the page. She's using a fountain pen. The dark blue ink shines brightly on the stark whiteness of the paper, dulling as it dries. I wonder if I should have approached Monika, given that she's so busy today. Yuri has her head in a book. Natsuki's puttering away in the closet, and Sayori's disappeared somewhere. I'll just stay here for now. I don't think my mere presence would be that bothersome.
Alright, I'm done.
Oh? I was expecting you to have more to do.
I did say that I didn't have much more to do.
Right. So, what are you going to do with your newfound freedom, then?
Not so fast. I still have to turn these in. Want to come with?
She knows what she's doing. I already said it. Sure thing. Where to? Far be it from me to turn Monika down.
The faculty room.
After you, then, milady. Okay, well, I mentioned before in the Halloween videos, I crush on Monika hardcore, so you're gonna have to forgive me. We stand up and head for the door. Oh, Yuri.
Yuri, since Sayori's off to gather supplies and I'm stepping out for a bit, you're in charge until one of us is back. But I can't handle that kind of responsibility.
Startled, Yuri looks up from her novel like a deer caught in the headlights.
I'll do my best. Thanks.
I shoot Yuri an apologetic look and follow Monika out of the classroom. Yuri doesn't seem too happy with her new responsibilities.
Oh, she'll be fine.
Why didn't you put Natsuki in charge? Because she's grumpy.
Well, for one thing, Natsuki's doing her own thing in the closet. And for another, Yuri's not unreliable.
Okay, that is true.
I guess she might have trouble talking if a stranger comes to the classroom. But I doubt that anything's going to happen while we're away.
Alright, makes sense. We round the corner in the hall. Monika seems to anticipate each turn a few steps ahead. I'm sure she's probably made this journey like 7,000 times already. I don't think it'd be remiss to assume that Monika spent a lot of time running errands to and from the faculty room. See? Speaking of Natsuki, what's she even doing in the closet? She's baking cookies! No.
I think it's been mentioned before, but Natsuki keeps her manga collection in the club room. Apparently, her dad is prejudiced against manga or something. Anyway, have you noticed that the manga in the bookshelf is... Have you noticed that the manga in the bookshelf is gone? That's because Natsuki relocated it to the closet.
Isn't manga banned from the school premises? I didn't know that. But I guess it would make sense, especially if there's certain other types of manga that get thrown into the mix. Manga that I'm not even going to talk about. I know it's out of sight now, but even so.
Oh, I was able to argue on Natsuki's behalf to the club advisor. I wasn't the debate club president for nothing, you know.
Ah, right. She's using her charms and wit. Man, I wish you could have argued for me all those times the teacher took away my manga.
The difference between you and Natsuki is that she doesn't read it in class.
True, she reads it in the club room. Basically, yeah, if you read it in the classroom, then even if Monika were to go try to save you, it'd be like, you have no power here.
And I've never heard you commend the literary values of manga before.
Fair point. While we're on the topic of unconventional forms of literature, though, have you played any more of the visual novel I showed you yesterday?
I'm sorry. Were you expecting me to finish it?
Monika's guilty expressions causes me to leap to assuage her conscience. To ease her conscience. Like, dang it. I know this is a word, but I've only heard it like one other time and I can't remember. No, of course not. I was just wondering where you were at, so I wouldn't accidentally spoil anything.
Oh, alright then. Consider it as always, Daniel.
It's nothing. So, you haven't played any more of the game then?
No, I haven't.
Well, I'll just tell you that there's more to the game than it would lead you to believe.
Oh, how so?
There's actually a darker side to the game that you unlock after you find all the normal endings. So once you finish it, I recommend that you replay it for that extra depth.
Interesting.
Yep, the dark side is actually part of the reason why I chose that specific game to show you. I guess it kind of shows how games aren't just mindless forms of entertainment. Kind of like the one we're in right now. There are plenty that have more depth to them when you actually pay attention. I really dislike it when people write off games without trying them. Oh boy. I want to see how this goes. How are you going to react to this, Monika? Appearances can be deceiving, and most of the time, it's just people's prejudices getting in the way. You might even say that there's more to this than meets the eye.
Wow, Daniel, you're more like Natsuki than I thought.
Huh?
Come on, you just gave me a video games are literature spiel. Video games are literature!
Huh, so I did. Well, it's what I believe in, so...
Don't worry, I'm thoroughly convinced. And I agree with you with your central premise. People's preconceptions often narrow their mindsets.
And thus, walking into things with a closed mind allows them to essentially write off whatever they're facing against that they may have otherwise liked if they had just approached it with an open mind.
Many people automatically express a distaste for literature and poetry without really trying to get into it as well. It's not boring if you try to figure out what the author is trying to say, nor if you try to appreciate all the techniques the author used to say it.
I guess that is your writing tip of the day?
I won't let you get off that easily.
Sailor Moon says.
Just wait until we share poems for a good one.
Well, I guess that was my gaming tip of the day then. I don't have anything for this, so... Even though it didn't really have anything to do with actually playing games. No, if anything, it's more about justifying the value of games.
I guess it's a universal thing, appearances being different from the content.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Like the game that this comes from.
You could say that it applies to people as well.
Oh boy, you don't have to tell me twice.
Most people are made up of many different layers.
Onions have layers, ogres have layers. Yeah, like an onion. This guy gets it! Yeah, like an onion.
Well, there are probably more poetic ways to put it.
Cake! Everybody loves cake!
But yeah, like an onion.
We share a chuckle as we approach the faculty room.
I'll be right back.
I lean against the wall as Monika slips through the doors. And as she said, it's not long before she's back, this time without the papers in hand. Everything good?
Yep. Don't know what I would have done if I had to do it all over again or something like that.
Oh boy. I imagine she would probably be having like a heart attack or something, just... I don't think you'd ever have to worry about that. You're so perfect at everything you do, and...
You never know. If I let my guard down and become sloppy...
I think that your sloppy work would probably still be better than my best work. Besides, even if you make a mistake, it's not the end of the world. It depends on the mistake you're making. Like if someone says, "Do not press the red button!" And then you're like, "You mean this button?" And then you launch a rocket somewhere, well, congratulations, you sent a rocket into space without any astronauts on board. How are you gonna get it back? Do you know how much those cost? I don't know how much those cost, but I bet they cost a lot. There's nothing wrong with starting over. But I mean, okay, well, taking that extreme example, like, out of the way, I mean, you can kind of get what he's saying here, that as long as it's not an extreme mistake like that, you can still try to go back and do it again.
Better to do it right the first time, though. I wouldn't want to waste any time after all.
Well, that's true.
Anyway, shall we head back?
Fine by me. We start walking back the way we came, slower this time. Although Monika still walks with purpose, it seems like a weight has been lifted from her shoulders, at least momentarily. She's not in so much of a rush anymore.
What's up?
Oh, I was just wondering what the other clubs are up to right now.
They're probably busy preparing for the festival.
Don't mention that name!
It's a good opportunity to showcase all the talents of the club, as well as recruit new members.
That's true. It reminds me, is our club not doing anything for the festival?
Don't worry, I was going to talk about that during the club meeting today. I can't spoil anything, though, so you'll have to wait until then to hear about it.
Alright. Actually, you want to check out what the other clubs are doing in that case?
You mean to spy on them?
Well, don't say it like that. Think of it more as inspiration. Think of it more as taking a creative journey of discovery.
Well...
A mischievous glint appears in her eye, or in her eyes.
We might as well scope out the competition.
That's the spirit. It'll be a secret mission for the ages. Well, what brings you here? My name is Bond. James Bond. Okay, no.
So, which club do you want to visit first?
Let's look at the track team first. I'm curious to know what they could put together for the festival.
Sounds like a plan.
Oh. Music's gone. We turn to head around to head in the opposite direction. Too much here. As we walk through the halls, alternating patches of golden sunlight streaming in through the windows and cool shadows fall over us. One moment warmth, the next a slight chill. Our footsteps echo through the halls, at once lonely, yet somehow comforting in its departure from the norm of bustling noises that usually fills the halls. A comfortable silence settles over us as we walk. It's a far cry from the banter between us when we were walking to the faculty room, but the silence almost feels more intimate. Through the windows, I can see the baseball team practicing in the distance. The nearly setting sun bathes everything in a now golden orange glow. Soon it will be dark, and the noise of the city will return with the nightlife. But for now, all is quiet. Peaceful. I used to seldom stay after school of my own accord, but now that I'm doing so, I have to admit, there's just something about empty schools. It conjures up an almost indescribable feeling, like time has stopped somehow. Especially in the afternoon glow. It's as if the empty school is captured in the snapshot of a sepia photo. The faint echoes of footsteps and distant doors shutting from those who are left seem like mere ghosts of the past day. I guess that makes Monika and I ghosts too. If only we could just abandon all responsibilities and drift away. But that's just wishful thinking.
Wouldn't it be good to be in your shoes, even if it was for just one day? Wouldn't it be good if we could wish ourselves away? And wouldn't it be good to be on your side? The grass is always greener over there. Wouldn't it be good if we could live without a care?
Do you stay after school a lot?
Well, I've always been in clubs, so...
Oh, right. I was just thinking about how it's peaceful when schools are empty.
Yeah. It's a bit lonely, but at the same time, having more people around would ruin the peaceful feeling.
Yeah.
I've always thought that the golden hour was beautiful as well.
The golden hour?
It's that time right after the sun rises and before the sun sets, where everything is tinted by yellows and oranges.
Ah, so like right now then?
That's right. I wish it lasted longer. But nothing gold can stay.
The fuck you just say? Okay, no. Okay, I'm just sorry for ruining the moment. It's just my outro. It's almost like, what did you just say?
We're having conflicting ideologies here, Monika.
That's pretty poetic. Depressing, too. Yeah. In the end, though, I mean... if you think of it that way, gold shines brightly. Well, hold on here, I'm going somewhere with this. So... nothing gold can stay, so eventually... that will lose its luster and its shine, and in a sense its value. So, in that sense, it's like you might have something gold in your hands right now, but eventually in time, it will just eventually, well, figuratively speaking, it will eventually just fade away. And in a sense, you could use that to almost anything else. Like how a friend of mine told me once, looks and beauty can fade away. So, in that sense, if you're worried about having a partner who's super attractive and whatever, well, in a sense, how you view them is in your eyes. Beauty is the eye of the beholder. But then, I mean, if you really, like, if you're looking past their looks and whatever, well, there you go. But if you're only there for their looks, and you're like, oh, I don't want to stay with her anymore and whatever. So I guess you could say the reason why I say to stay golden means to just keep on shining as best you can. Like, no matter what happens, just stay who you are. And don't let anyone try to tell you otherwise. Shine as bright as you can. Stay golden. Be true to who you are. And just because I like gold. So I like to say gold. But otherwise, yeah, those are the two reasons why that is my outro. One, because I'm just being stupid and I like gold. And two, because I mean, really, I would like to at least try to be kind of at least supportive to people out there. As someone who grew up kind of trying to hide who they were because they were ashamed of who they were and feeling miserable. After I realized, in the sense, as long as who I am, I stay true to who I am, nothing else really matters. I don't have to worry about keeping certain people in my life, especially if they don't really value me as a person. Because the people who really do value me will stay in my life because of who I am. Not because I look a certain way or I wear this certain mask, this persona or whatever. Because they like who Daniel is. So you can be whoever you truly are, and the people who are valuable in your life will stay. And I guess you could say that might be a good way to kind of figure out who are the ones that really matter in your life and who are just the hangers-on. Okay, well, anyways. Sorry about my tangents, but you know I do that a lot. Especially when... pretty much with Monika. Monika is like my debate partner here. Or my debate rival, as my Monika After Story videos prove. Almost every other thing she says is profound, and I'm here like, you know, I agree with that, and I just like to give my thoughts on it. Or if I have like an opposing view, I'm here like, well, I see that, but at the same time, you know. Well, then again, I was in the Model United Nations, which was kind of like our high school's debate sort of team. So, yeah, I guess you could say I also have my ways of the debating.
I didn't come up with that myself.
You got it from a poem somewhere.
It's the title and last line of Robert Frost's poems.
Oh, you see?
Because, well, I have read some of Robert Frost's poems in middle school and high school, but for the life of me, I cannot remember too much of them right now.
Oh, I see. I guess that explains why it's poetic. Because it's literally in a poem.
He sounds like an interesting guy, though. I gotta check out his poems sometime. His poems are really interesting as well.
By this time, we've reached one of the school's back exits. As we step outside, a cool breeze ruffles my hair. It makes the ends of Monika's hair ribbon dance. It's kind of chilly, isn't it?
It is nearly sunset. Not to mention we're in November right now.
Huh? Wait. The festival is in November? I'm confused here. Because... yeah, like... what am I trying to think here? The Halloween event, obviously that happened in October, happens after the festival. In October. But the festival is in November. So, what? I'm gonna assume that that's just a continuity error or something, but...
yeah, that doesn't quite make sense to me.
We can't just possibly go into November and then magically time travel back into October.
I wonder if we'll have a white Christmas this year.
Well, if nothing else weird happens, like somehow going from November to October, then I think we will. Considering the other routes have had a white Christmas.
I hope so. I just love snow.
Shivering, we make our way towards the track. where the track team's club room and sports equipment storage shed are close by. Oh, that reminds me. Isn't the tennis team doing anything for the festival?
We are, actually. I'm class rep and president of the literature club, though, so the vice captain's taking over those duties since I have to manage 2 events already for the festival.
That makes sense. You'd be swamped otherwise. Yeah, you'd need to clone 3 of her just to make it all work.
Mm-hmm. You should check out my class's cafe during the festival, by the way.
Only if you promise that I won't get food poisoning.
I'll personally pay your medical bills if that happens.
Yeah, I believe it, because her family's loaded. We quiet down as we reach the club room. However, even though we're quiet, the people inside the room aren't. The track team is as boisterous as ever, so much that we can even hear snippets of conversation from outside. There seems to be an argument going on inside. Although, to be honest, I can't tell whether I'm hearing happy or angry outbursts. It's just the way the track team is. Loud. Monika raises an eyebrow at me, and I reply with a shrug. They've got a lot of energy, huh?
Well, they are the track team.
We slowly approach the door's window to peek inside. Oh! Before we can reach it, the door flies open with a bang. We flinch as the quiet is suddenly shattered by the voices coming in from within the club room. Emmy! A petite girl wearing striped stockings dashes out of the club room, turning her head to yell back at her team members. Okay. Yeah, I'm so confused here, but I guess I'm just gonna roll with it.
Whatever, you guys figure it out then. I'm gonna hit the track before it gets totally dark.
She flings the door shut and turns towards the track, nearly running into us.
Oh crap! Sorry, I didn't see you guys there.
She looks kind of familiar. Because it's Emmy, you dolt!
It's fine. More importantly, is everything alright in there? Oh, them? Yeah, they're fine. We were just arguing over festival things. Were you guys just about to knock?
Yes, and then you broke my nose. Kinda. We just wanted to take a peek at what you guys were doing. You know, for a bit of reconnaissance, inspiration. A sparkle appears in the girl's eyes.
Are these new members I spy?
No.
We were just a bit curious. Curious about the team, right? Since you're gonna be new members?
The girl suddenly seems to be much more intimidating, with her overbearing excitement.
Well, in that case, I'm at your disposal. Ask me anything.
Monika and I exchange glances.
Yeah, about that.
In that case, what's the track team doing for the festival?
Oh, about that. Well, you guys heard them in there. We haven't really decided yet. But I'll have you know that whatever we do will be really good. If everyone's as enthusiastic as you, then I'm sure it will be.
The girl sighs, her mood seemingly dampened a bit by Monika's words.
That's the problem. None of them are so passionate. Or not all of them are so passionate. Man, I wish there was a whole team of me's.
Oh goodness, a whole team of Emmys.
Anyway, that's why we need more go-getters like you two on the team.
I don't want to join the track team, but I feel like I'm going to really disappoint this girl if I don't. Okay, well then we would need to clone Monika 4 times, and then you twice. I don't know what the second one would be for, or the third one would be for, but who knows, maybe we can put him to work. It feels like I'm being swept up in a hurricane of excitement with her. Wait, I have the literature club though. Really, I didn't realize that. Must resist. Must resist stupidity impulse. Not resisting well.
I'm sure you'll be able to convince new people to join during the festival. Especially if you're the spokesperson. Thanks! Oh shoot. Sorry, gotta get changed so I can run before night falls. I'll see you at the festival.
The girl runs off with a wave and a smile. Somehow I feel really drained after talking to her. My voice feels really drained talking as her.
Too much excitement?
Yep, let's head back. I'm tired. I sigh once we're back in the school building. Safe territory once again. No sports for me. Who was that girl anyway? She's in your class, you dolt. Or okay, I'm gonna go on a limb that either Emmy, that sprite for Emmy, is just a placeholder, or who knows, maybe Emmy had a different role in this early version of the event.
I think she's a third year. If I remember correctly, she's won a bunch of awards for track.
Okay, then I guess she's not actually Emmy, since Emmy's supposed to be in his class. Or I don't know anymore. I really don't know. Like I said, this might have been just like a pilot version of the game or a prototype, so a lot of things could have changed in between. Huh, I guess she's got a right to be so enthusiastic then. We heading back to the club room now?
Actually, is it okay if we take a look at the Light Music Club too? They're the club that I'm most interested in at the moment, aside from the Literature Club, of course.
Sure thing. Monika leads the way to the music room. It was mentioned the other day that she played piano, so I guess she spent a lot of time in there too. However, the room is completely quiet when we get there. What, did you think it was going to be kind of like the Light Music Club in K-On!, where fun, exciting things are happening like almost every single episode? Guess that they're not having a meeting today.
That's fine. Let's go in anyway.
Here's the piano. She slides the door open as she speaks. The room is actually quite large and spacious. A variety of different instruments are stored in the room, and there are plenty of chairs lined up in neat rows. In the corner sits an elegant-looking grand piano.
Since the Light Music Club isn't meeting up today, let's make a little music ourselves.
Monika, do you know what you're saying? Well, there's a literal sense, but there's also the analogy like, you and me, if you and I just get together, I know you and I are going to make some sweet music together. Like, see? What do you mean?
Come on, Daniel.
With a smile playing on her lips, Monika grabs my hand and leads me over to the piano. Whoa now! Monika, at least take me to dinner first. Monika sits on the bench and pats the empty space beside her. Okay. So, work in progress. But I mean, you get the basic idea here. When I sit down, I realize that we're close enough for our shoulders to brush against each other. Isn't this romantic? That is, we're too close together for me to fully relax. I'm so tense right now.
Do you play any instruments?
Does Wii Music count? Okay, no. Huh? Oh no, not really. I was told that I probably could have played piano if I want to, considering a few things, but, well, unfortunately my mom was never able to really do that, so. On the plus side, at least, my typing skills are very good. My dad tried to get me into playing the piano, actually, but his attempts kind of fell flat.
I see.
Yeah, sometimes I wish that I was more serious about it as a kid. Then I would have had at least one talent by now.
Well, you can learn right now with me then.
Right, because she's self-taught. Huh. Yeah, I guess you are right. She smiles at me as she lightly glides her fingers over the keys. I don't know if you can kind of hear that. I hear a bit of piano music.
Do you remember anything about it?
Yep, I remember stubbornly refusing to practice and frustrating my father. Oh, well, okay, I've heard this song before. I feel a bit guilty about the younger me's behavior every time I would visit his house and see his piano. I remember where middle C is, at least. I position my hands the way I was taught to as a kid, and struggle to recall more from within my murky memories. I was never really good at reading music, but I can't play by ear either. So I guess you can treat me as a total newbie to this.
Well, I don't happen to have any sheet music on hand anyway. I'm no expert at it either, though. I only recently picked up the piano, so I can't play much. I really like practicing, though. You could say that it's kind of therapeutic for me.
That does make sense. I mean, that music can be really soothing. Yeah. Like, one thing that my mom used to always tell me, like, if I ever had trouble sleeping or if I felt nervous, to just turn on my iPod or whatever. Or, well, in case now my phone, since my iPod gave out on me years ago. Monika's fingers start drifting across the keys again.
The piano is really versatile, too. I can be slow and methodical if I want, or fast and spontaneous. It's really just a nice outlet for emotions.
More so than poetry?
You can't really compare the two.
That's like apples and oranges. You can't do it.
But there are some things you can't describe too well with words.
But with the kind of feelings that a piece of music might evoke. Like, this one is kind of... It has a bit of a melancholic feel to it. But also a hint of something hopeful at the end. So, you know, at least that's how I always interpreted this song, and if I remember the other times I've heard it. Like whenever MC is here trying to make like some kind of big choice and he's reflecting on his actions. Things that you just have to feel to get. Monika closes her eyes as she slowly plings her way through a scale. She turns to look at me when she's done.
Isn't it crazy, Daniel? How humans have somehow evolved to want to create?
That is true. Such as like my desire to create for this channel. It gives me a sense of fulfillment from it.
How people are able to create abstract something out of nothing?
Or to create something... Okay, I think what you mean is how people are able to create something abstract out of nothing. Yeah, I suppose so. I don't really know how to respond. Well, I know how to respond. Essentially how humans are pretty much the only ones that can do that. Basically through reasoning and emotion and, you know, things like that. As well as through their personalities and the things they like. As well as the talents they can develop. Like some people, maybe, like I know, and of course I'm going to mention her again, but Brianna Knickerbocker has her singing career, And she's gone on to say things like how she basically writes her own music. She writes out the lyrics and everything, and then she sends them to producers who end up kind of creating the melodies and everything, which is something that she wouldn't really be able to do on her own. So in a sense, that if you think about it, a song from her as Starless takes the creative mind of her and her producers, whoever they may be. So in that sense, yes. She literally takes some abstract idea and she gives it some kind of form as a song. And likewise, if you think about it, her music, or her voice acting career as well, which in a sense is art on its own, given how you have to put emotion and feeling into the role you play to breathe life into it and make it believable. And in some cases, it's almost like you're putting a bit of yourself in there. Like the way that she talks, or the way she portrays Rem in ReZero, or Kanao and Demon Slayer. And how, like, I think she kind of said something to the effect of, like, for Kanao, she portrayed her, I think actually both of them as being kind of broken. Because I guess spoilers for both of these animes, but they both have very tragic pasts. Their lives were full of tragedy. And she tries her best to kind of get that point across. And she does that as effectively as she can through her voice work. So then, again, I mean, I guess it's kind of abstract in itself, but even voice work in itself can be a work of art. And I guess that's why, in a sense, like, I could just sit here and just read every single line, whatever, in my voice, but at the same time, I kind of want to do what Rihanna does. I want to show the kind of meaning, or give sort of meaning and feeling to these stories. Because I especially love the way Blue Skies has these stories. And I think it would just be an injustice for me to just be monotone and just be like, I don't really know how to respond. Isn't it crazy, Daniel, how humans have, like, I mean, I could obviously do that, but then I'm pretty sure the videos would be, like, super boring or annoying. So I at least like to try to put some kind of heart and soul into these characters, and unfortunately, yes, considering I am a man and trying to voice female characters, it kind of comes across as silly, but I still want to try, and at the very least, give some kind of emotion and feeling to their emotions and feelings. Even if they're not real, I mean, I don't care. Each character still represents something. Monika represents something. Even if she's not real, she still has her own struggles and her hopes and dreams, as the other girls do, so even if she's not, like, real, I mean, she's still... the idea of her exists. Rem isn't real, but the idea of her still exists. And in Season 2, there was a massive outcry because a lot of people were legitimately sad because of what happened to her, and of course I was one of those people. So, I mean, the fact that you can care so much about a fictional character speaks volumes. Even if they're not real, you still love the idea of them. Their actions, their feelings, their personalities, how you can relate to them. And that's why I've said countless times that that's why, like in this game specifically, Yuri and Sayori mean so much to me. because I can relate to them on so many different levels. Okay, anyways, I guess tangent time over. This is me speaking to Yuri all over again. I guess it's kind of unique how humans are able to build up on other people's progress as well. Kind of like I mentioned, Brianna's producers kind of take her lyrics and build off that to create a song, a full-fledged song. Or if I think of like the scientific community, discoveries are being made every day. Theories that may have been made like 40 years ago are being built upon, added to, or disproven, and it continues in this cycle of discovery and desire to create and learn. And I guess that's another thing that makes humans so special as well, that desire to learn. And I guess you could say that's also why I think education is an important thing for young people. Just like how you're using an instrument that someone else invented to create sounds that have never been heard before. That's exactly it.
This is how civilization was born, eh?
Her hands move lithely over the black and white keys as she picks out a melody. It's quite simple, but that only adds to its charm.
Why don't you try playing something? I don't know how to play anything, though. Come on, it's just the two of us in here. I promise I won't laugh at you. Too much.
And yeah, okay, obviously I like to kind of give little nuances to them here and there. So it is.
It doesn't matter if it's any good, as long as you try.
The song doesn't matter, the lyrics don't matter, just play whatever your heart feels. Okay, that sounded better in my head, I'm sorry. So you say. Stop saying that.
Let's play a duet. Just follow my lead and play from your heart.
What the... Dang it, Monika and I really are, like... Seriously.
Remember, I'm a beginner too, so it's not like you'll have a hard time following along.
You say that, but...
No buts.
Monika starts to play slowly, but deliberately, so that way you can catch on. She raises an eyebrow at me, and with a sigh, I put my long-forgotten muscle memory to the test. She's waiting for you. The sudden flurry of euphonous notes bursting forth from my fingertips visibly shocks Monika. Just kidding. Really? Oh my god! The discordant noise that sounds from my clumsy fingers causes Monika to recoil a little. To say that it was a bad idea would be an understatement. I told you that I was bad.
I'll have to admit, I expected that you'd remember a bit more. All you need is a little more practice, though.
Right. Well, it's getting kind of late, so we should hurry back.
I suppose it is.
Okay, I kind of dipped into Yuri's voice a little bit.
I suppose it is.
Monika slowly rises as I shoot to my feet, embarrassed. It's a good thing nobody else was here, right? And then we look outside and there's like 20 people staring in the window. But in my haste, I trip over myself. Oh no. Ah! Oh! What? Bam. The first thing I'm aware of is the throbbing pain in my forehead. Oh, the second thing I'm aware of is the pair of brilliant emerald eyes, only a few inches away from me. I instinctively jump away from her. Anyways, my face begins to heat up. Ow, what happened?
You kinda knocked our heads together there.
You know what they say, 2 heads are better than 1. I guess they didn't mean it like that, though.
Crap, are you okay? I'll be fine. Probably. It's just a concussion after all. I'm really sorry, Monika. I'll pay for that medical bill. Are you sure you don't need to lie down or something? Daniel, are you always more energetic after head injuries?
Yeah, it's like a jump start to my system, you know? Kind of like how in the old days people used to bang on TVs to get them to work, you know?
I'm fine, really. Actually, I'm more worried that we don't have enough time now to share poems. So let's hurry back to the classroom.
If you say so. But I'm gonna keep a close eye on you. I got my eye on you. Tell me if you feel dizzy or have blurry vision or anything like that.
I said I was fine, didn't I?
Monika hates me now. Still, I'm just worried about you.
Well, let's just hurry back.
We make our way back to the classroom at a brisk pace. I don't think people with head trauma are supposed to do that. Yes, aren't they gonna feel dizzy? Oh dear. But in the end, we make it back to the classroom in one piece. It seems that Sayori's back as well. Speaking of head trauma, does she mean that she doesn't have her head trauma? Monika rushes to the front of the classroom to gather everyone's attention.
Okay, everyone.
Meanwhile, I return to my seat and try to steady my breathing. Somehow, I don't think either of us will be bringing up what happened anytime soon. But for now, I should make an attempt at clearing my head. After all, it's poem sharing time. It's hero time. Okay, well. Well, that was definitely fun. Okay, Monika's Sunday scene. I can see Uncle Saitama again! It's already Sunday. The day that Monika's coming over to my house to work on the festival pamphlets with me. Okay, I think I probably got the final 2 songs I needed then. This one's new to me. I like it. The day that one of the most popular girls in my school is coming over to my house, where we'll be alone together the whole day. The closer it gets to the time that Monika's supposed to arrive, the more nervous I am. I'm practically buzzing with nervous energy, and I decide to succumb to a last-minute cleaning frenzy. Help me, Uncle Saitama! I'm not that much of a messy person, but living alone in a big house, I've kind of let things go. The fact that I haven't had someone over in forever doesn't help matters either. Actually, that's probably where most of my anxiety is stemming from. A sudden ring of the doorbell startles me into dropping the couch cushions I was holding. Ah, crap. I lost track of the time in my panic. I toss the cushion onto the couch and rush over to open the door. Hi, guys! Well,
Hi, Daniel.
Hey. It's a strange feeling, seeing Monika in casual clothes. Somewhere in the back of my mind, I kind of expected that she would show up at my door in her school uniform. What, because the people who were in charge of the assets didn't give her casual clothes? You crazy boy. That loco.
Are you alright? You seem a little out of breath.
Oh yeah, I was just doing some last-minute cleaning for you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine. Okay, that's good. Wouldn't want you out of commission now, would we? Well, your doorstep isn't too uncomfortable a place to work, I guess.
Oh right, yeah, you're supposed to actually let her in the house. Oh, right, let's head inside.
Lead the way.
I feel myself turning red as I let her in. As red as the shirt she's wearing. Have I always been this awkward? I don't know, I haven't really known you that long, so... I don't know, maybe you're more awkward than me. I can't be sure. I'm just going to attribute my sudden lack of social skills to a combination of Monika's casual clothes and being alone in the house with her. Is that all you brought? Although Monika said that she'd bring all the materials today, she's only carrying her school bag with her. Weren't you going to bring things like art supplies and paper?
Nope, we have everything we need right here.
You're all I'll ever need. Okay. That would be stupid. Huh? As we sit down on the couch, Monika slides her laptop out of her bag and places it on the coffee table.
I was thinking about it last night when I was just about to start gathering up all the materials. Wouldn't it be such a hassle to write everything out ourselves? It wouldn't look that professional either, right? So I decided to do everything digitally.
The future is now, thanks to science.
Sorry for not letting you know earlier. I figured that you wouldn't be too bothered about it anyway. That's a pretty good idea. If this is going to help speed things up and improve efficiency, I have no objections. I don't know if we have enough ink in my printer to print out that many pamphlets, though. In that case, how about we go to the library and get everything sorted out?
Ah, yes, the public library.
I know one nearby that makes high-quality copies, too, and since I go there, they give me really good prices, too.
Oh, that's good. Sounds like a plan. I watch as Monika quickly opens up a pamphlet template in a text document.
Let's see. The Way They Fly, After Image of a Crimson Eye, My Meadow, and Jump.
Are those the poems we're reciting for the festival?
Come to think of it, you never told me which poem you wanted to use.
Good thing I had the foresight to prepare for this. Everything is proceeding as I have foreseen. Oh, I ended up settling on one I found online called Acquainted with the Night.
Ah, the one by Robert Frost?
Oh. I'm not that surprised you know it, but yeah, that one.
Good choice. I'll look up the poem right now so I can copy and paste it into the document.
Her fingers fly deftly over the keyboard as she works. See, people with good typing skills can also be good at piano, and vice versa. Or, well, I would like to think. Like I said, I probably could have been good at the piano, but we may never know. Guess I'll end up not doing much today. I'm just gonna be in the corner and look like an idiot.
I'm curious to know why you specifically chose that poem, though.
To impress you. Actually, no. Let's see what he says. I should have expected that Monika would ask that. Is everything still proceeding as you have foreseen? Time to whip out my literary thinking cap. First of all, I guess I just like how it sounded. It looked good. There was a certain rhythm when I read it that made me keep wanting to read more.
You're talking about the iambic
pentameter. Iambic pentameter, right?
When the stressed and unstressed syllables of the words alternate to create an almost musical beat?
Yep, that's right. It's almost like a song or something, the way it works. I guess I also kind of like the themes of the poem. You could say that they kind of resonated with me.
Oh? How so?
Well, the poet was inspired by his experiences with depression when he wrote the poem. And although I've never had depression before, I could relate to the feelings of isolation and uncertainty in it.
Those feelings are quite universal, aren't they?
How do you feel, Monika?
Yeah, you could say that. You should talk about poetry more, Daniel. I could see you being really good at literary analysis if you tried.
Well, IRL, I kind of already do that. Thanks. I already forgot. Oh, thanks, Miss Anderson. You really made us into literary analysis experts. analyzing the symbolic nature of a freaking chair or something. Well, maybe. Wait, are you calling me a slacker or something?
I ain't calling you for dinner, honey.
Okay.
I'm just calling it how I see it.
Hey, I just call it how I see it.
I'll have you know that I do try.
When I need to.
I hope that includes today's work.
Yeah, of course. Of course!
And I guess that includes today's poetry discussion of the day.
Now all we'll need is an okay everyone, and it'll really feel like a club meeting. And wow, it sounds so weird saying that in my regular voice. I'm so used to saying that in her voice for these last almost 3 years.
Are you making fun of me?
Not at all. I would know better than to make fun of the most popular and most beautiful girl in the school.
Only teasing.
Stupid sexy Monika.
I do say that a lot, don't I?
Yeah, Natsuki even called it your catchphrase in a couple of dimensions. You could call it your catchphrase at this point. Oh. Monika puts on a pouty face that almost gives me a heart attack with its cuteness. Uh-oh, my heart just stopped. Ah, there it goes. So grumpy. Well, I usually say that with Natsuki, so...
It just makes me feel organized when I say it, okay? Hey, nothing wrong with catchphrases.
It seems that while we've been talking, Monika's been working at lightning speed to finish everything. Everything's done. She had time to argue with you and finish the pamphlets. I guess there's not much for us to do if we're doing everything digitally, huh?
Yeah, I mean, it's just a matter of formatting everything correctly and writing some short informational blurbs. It's helpful to have someone ideas to bounce off of.
So I'm basically your idea springboard.
But in hindsight, you probably would have been more help working with someone else.
Okay, well, if you need me, I'm gonna be in the corner. I'm gonna crawl into my cardboard box and start crying now. Pay no attention to my loud sobs. My loud, uncontrollable sobbing. Just continue working as I contemplate how useless I am to you and how I don't mean anything to you. Okay, no. That might be so. But I had my reasons. And I just wanted to work with you, too.
Aw, thanks, Daniel.
Don't mention it. Anyway, everyone else seems like they're pretty capable of handling their work. Yeah, Natsuki was just gonna make me do dirty work. I mean, baking, artsy atmosphere stuff, and picking out presents. These are all in the guy's fortes, right?
Mm-hmm. That's why I'm not too worried about the workloads. I think that everyone will try their best, both because they take pride in their talents, and because they want the club to succeed.
I don't think anyone would want to... And this is where my tongue stops working, again. I don't think anyone would want to let down their friends either, right? I fight for my friends.
That's true.
How much is there left to do? Depending on how much they mean to you as your friends, well then, of course, you want them to be happy and feel okay, you know?
I finished the cover page and a description of our club, along with different sections dedicated to each poem.
She turns the laptop in my direction to show me. Displayed on the screen is a smartly designed, minimalistic pamphlet. Photos relating to each poem's themes are placed in a way that draws the eye to center on the poetry. I don't know what What is this here for?
What do you think?
Wow, it looks really professional.
Have you ever taken a graphic design class before? No, I've just had a lot of practice. My mother is the lead designer of a large firm, so maybe it runs in my blood.
Okay, now we're finally getting some backstory here. This is what I wanted. I know I sound so excited for it, but I mean, really. I liked learning about their backstories in Blue Skies, and yeah, I was kind of bummed that we didn't get to learn Monika's backstory, so I guess you could say well, IRL, I just love learning about people. In a sense, I guess you could say, at least to me, I think if you just sat down and if you asked someone, like, what's your story, in a way, just, like, tell me about yourself. Whatever, just however much you want to describe. I think that in that sense, like, everyone's life story can be interesting in its own right. Like, I've been told that, like, everyone has, like, their own experiences that they can pass down to other people. And I guess that's one reason why I share a lot of my stories in these videos. Just if it reminds me or something, or if it brings up a point that I want to share, and maybe to hopefully, well, maybe help someone out. I don't know. In the hopes that, maybe someone will find it useful. Who knows?
I wouldn't doubt it if that was the case. Do you have any suggestions, though?
I don't have much of an opinion on art and design. Not that you need any help on that front, anyway. Like I said, my cardboard box is over there waiting for me. But as for the pamphlet's contents, how about a program guide, so that the audience can follow along more easily?
Great idea! What order should we all recite in?
Given that you're the president, you should probably go first. Okay, I already forgot. What was the order that everyone went in? I think it was Monika first, and then... I want to say that it was Sayori, then Yuri, or... No, maybe... I don't know. I mean, you probably all know from watching the videos. I just can't remember right now. And since Natsuki doesn't really care about performing in front of strangers, how about we have her go next? So that she can get it over with, know what I mean? Which is exactly what she wanted.
Sounds good to me.
The soft sound of keys clicking fills the air as Monika starts modifying the pamphlet again. Yuri's probably going to be the opposite of Natsuki, and want to delay the inevitable as much as possible.
She is pretty shy. I don't think we'd want her to go last, though, because then all the attention would be on her. So how about we put her second to last?
Fine by me. I'd be fine going last then.
Alright, so that's me, Natsuki, Sayori, Yuri, and for our grand finale, you!
When you put it that way, it kind of makes me reluctant to be last,
You'll do fine.
While you're still editing the pamphlet, how about you add in short bios for each of us as well? Oh my... Wow, a lot of detail is going to be going into these pamphlets. If you think that'll make it more... I think that'll make it more welcoming for the audience if they get to know the people who are reciting better.
Ooh, it'll make the club seem more welcoming for any potential members as well. Another great idea, as expected of Daniel.
Oh, stop, you're embarrassing me. No, really. Stop, you're embarrassing me. I'm just throwing ideas out there. You're the one doing all the work. I'm just a guy who cries in a cardboard box in the corner.
That is true.
See, you admit it. Hey, you're supposed to deny that.
How about you carry the pamphlets back from the shop then?
Okay, so you're gonna do all the brain work and I'm gonna do all the muscle work. Okay, carry all the pamphlets. Hey, not bad. You've got yourself a deal.
Deal?
or no deal. A few conversations filled with pamphlet suggestions, critique, and idle chit-chat later, Monika's finally finished with her work.
Does everything look fine to you?
She scrolls over the pages for me to scrutinize. You know, I don't like the way this word looks next to this word, and I think you spelled chin wrong. Definitely, I'd join a club with this level of professionalism any day. But didn't you already do that? And I'm not just saying that to be nice either. And I'm also not saying that because I already did it.
Well, that's a relief.
Swiftly pulling out a USB stick, she saves her document on it and closes her laptop, slinging her school bag over her shoulder again.
Alright, let's go over to the library now.
I glance over at the clock as we head out. A few hours have passed by, and hopefully we can get everything else completed quickly, so that way we can hang out without the thought of work looming over us. Well, we'll see. I feel bad for making Monika pretty much do all of the work, but this kind of thing really is more suited for just one person to do. Maybe I should have helped someone else. Oh well, they can probably handle themselves. Plus, I got to get closer to Monika today. I got to learn a bit about her backstory finally.
It's a nice day, isn't it?
It really is. The sky is clear blue. You know, like blue skies, with only a few wispy clouds scudding across it. And although it's sunny, there's a cool breeze to ensure that it's not too hot out. Yeah, it's a good sign for tomorrow's weather. Wouldn't want the festival to be on a rainy day now, would we? We'd lose all the outdoor food stalls.
We gotta save the hot dogs! The food stalls are always pretty good, huh? It's actually kind of surprising how well these students can actually cook.
Yeah, usually you'd expect the student-made food would be kind of messy and either over or under-seasoned. Now I'm hungry for homemade comfort food. I want breakfast. I haven't had any in a long time.
Do you not eat at home often?
No, I pretty much always eat at home. My mom works abroad a lot, though, so I have to cook for myself.
Oh, so that kind of explains why you were alone this whole time. Or why we were alone this whole time.
I think we're alone now. Doesn't seem to be anyone around.
Is your cooking not very good then?
I think we're alone now. The beating of our hearts is the only sound. Actually, I'm not bad at it since I've got a lot of practice. To be honest, I'm just too lazy to put in the effort to buy tons of groceries and take the time to cook. Monika's going to remember that. I eat pretty unhealthily. Monika is also going to remember that. See? You're making her sad now.
Daniel, you need to take care of your health. We can't have a club member down now, can we?
I guess not. I offer up a sheepish grin that Monika chuckles at. How's your cooking, Monika?
Oh, I'm okay.
Don't be humble. You're probably a master chef or something.
I'm really not.
You're pretty much good at everything, and you're a top student, not to mention a top athlete to boot.
You don't need to boost my ego like that, you know.
Hey, it's just the truth. Since you're already so involved with school activities, are you going to run for the student council? I nominate Monika for student council president. I could definitely see you as the president there.
That's definitely something I've actually been considering.
Oh, interesting.
It would definitely make my parents happy if I could do it.
That way Monika could rule the school. Well, kind of.
But I'm not sure if I have the time for it. There are a lot of responsibilities attached to the role.
Yeah, that's true. Right. You already have tons of things on your plate. I didn't mean to make you feel pressured or anything. I just wanted to say that if you ever run for student council president, you'll definitely have my vote. I'll vote for Monika any day.
Thanks, Daniel.
I'm a sucker for that radiant smiles of hers. That damn smile. I'm a sucker for that smile too. And good thing this isn't Monika After Story, because the real stupid sexy Monika face she makes with that smile, just like, oh, why? Or when she winks at me, like, stop winking at me! You're making me all flustered. If she ordered me to kill someone with that smile, I'd do it.
Good, Anakin, good. Kill him. Kill him now.
Yes, Master. And there. Okay, that might have been an exaggeration. Yeah, let's hope not. Let's hope so. Hi, random girl. By this time, we've walked well into the city of Metro Nui. I've just been following Monika all this time, since I have no idea which library she was talking about, because I don't read books. She said that it was supposed to be close by though, right? Looking around, I don't see any buildings that seem particularly library-ish. We'll get with the 21st century. For real though, like, the nearest library to where I live, it got renovated to being like a place that did look library-ish to a very modern art-ish looking building. Like, I wouldn't have been able to... Like, if you told me that was a library, I'd be like, huh, really? As we cross the street and head towards a tall, imposing building, I decide to ask her, "Hey, Monika, where are we going?"
Oh, we're just going out behind this tall building to a dark alley. No special reason. To the library, remember? Don't tell me you forgot that already.
Hey, give me a little credit. I meant where in the city?
Not far from school, actually.
Really? Because we're downtown right now. In the opposite direction of school.
Huh?
Oh. Uh-oh. She stops dead in her tracks, making me nearly bump into her. Her head tilts up as she stares at the building in front of us. Yeah, the one with this anime-ish looking girl. I follow her gaze to look up at it. It has a more modern design, and stretches up at least 8 stories tall. A bright blue sign, emblazoned with the title, Kumon, Math and Language Study Center, labels the building above the doorway. Oh. She was taking us to her cram school. Kumon? Isn't it that infamously strict cram school that spits out an almost equal number of broken failures and genius successes? Well, I guess for our sake, we want Monika to be a genius success. Because I don't want to see her be a broken failure. I've never gone to a cram school before, and I'm extremely glad that I've never set foot in Kumon. Why are we here, though? Monika? My voice seems to bring Monika back to reality.
Sorry. I seem to have led you the wrong way.
Well, I think I know why. She quickly spins around and begins marching back the way we came.
How silly of me, Daniel.
Oh, silly me!
We'll need to hurry back to the library before it closes. It closes pretty early compared to other places.
My cakes will burn. What's gotten into her? Well, I read the story notes, and yeah, Monika goes to a cram school. So I'm guessing she kind of sort of absent-mindedly started walking to the cram school. And, well, she didn't realize it until he kind of questioned her, like, where are we going? So, yeah. And I'm guessing, considering I don't think it's really ever stated in any of the main routes for the other girls, so I guess you could say that, yeah, this really is, like, kind of a surprise. You really, like, have no idea that she's going to a cram school on the side. Hold on! Stop! Monika! I lunge forward and grab Monika's arms, pulling her away from the crosswalk. Oh my god, was she almost... Oh my god, Monika. Monika, you have to be more careful. A second later, a car speeds by, the blaring sound of its horn trailing after it. Above us, the red light of an open hand, a universal signal to stop, glows. I hold her close in my arms, my breathing shallow and rapid, my heart beating a tattoo in my chest. I wouldn't doubt it if she could feel my heartbeat against my chest right now. The blood rushes through my ears, and for a few moments I can't hear anything, only feel. We stand alone together, amidst the rushing of the city and the rushing of my blood. Monika is warm in my hands, and that warmth comforts me. The warmth of her being alive and with me. I realize that we're both shaking, and with some effort I steady myself to try and give her something solid to lean on. We seem to spend an eternity standing there, but the reality comes crashing back down again. The noise of the busy city returns. It seems strange that the world still goes on without a care even after such a close brush with death. As much as I don't like talking about my father, I think I've mentioned it before in other videos, but when my mother died, he basically told me that no matter what happens, the world basically will go on with or without you. And of course, as much as I hate to admit it, it's true. No matter what happens to any one person, the world it goes on. Monika, thank you. I'm just glad that you're okay. You are okay, right? Yeah, I am. The feeling of relief pervades my body. It seems strange that I'd care so much about someone who I've only known for a few days. No, actually, it's not strange. Because we're friends, and friends care about each other, right? Although maybe, well, I should see how our friendship develops before I get ahead of myself. Don't get too cocky, Star Fox.
I'm glad that you were here to make sure I was okay, Daniel.
Of course. What happened anyway? Why were you so upset?
I wasn't upset. I don't know. I was just a bit flustered. I don't even know why I was flustered.
Does it have something to do with that Kuman building or something? Monika stiffens up once I mention it.
You could say that. That's my cram school right there. I have cram school every day, so I guess I've just been conditioned to walk straight here.
I see. So that was it.
My brain just switched to autopilot.
I see. Well, it wouldn't be strange for that to happen. Do you not like cram school?
I just have bad memories associated with it. I guess it's kind of silly. No, I'm sure that if it shook up you of all people, then it isn't silly at all. Thanks, but I should be stronger than this.
Well, sometimes it isn't easy for one person to be strong all the time.
I really don't mind cram school in general. It's pretty effective at boosting your grades, since it basically forces you to study.
I'm not sure if Monika's lying to make me feel better, or if those are her true feelings. Either way, this is a side of her that I've never seen before.
Anyway, mind if you let go of me now?
Sorry. I quickly drop my arms and step away from her. I'm so sorry for hugging you without your permission. My face is going red now, but I just couldn't help hugging her like that. I guess my protective instincts overwhelmed me at the moment. Monika smiles faintly at me, still looking a bit rattled.
How about we take a small break before we continue? That'd be great, Daniel.
And it's like, we could have lost Monika. We meander through a few streets before we settle on taking our break at a small park. Well, they call it a park, but it's really just a small section of a street that has a few more trees and shrubs than usual, along with a public bathroom. Strange how we were chatting and laughing not that long ago. A somber mood has settled over us, and I find myself preferring to keep quiet. Well, I mean, after what just happened, it seems that Monika's feeling the same way, as she doesn't make any move to speak. Hey, there's a vending machine over there. Do you want something to drink? I'm hoping that something sweet can cheer her up, at least a little bit.
Sure thing. That's pretty thoughtful of you.
No sweat. I was going to get something for myself anyway. What would you like?
A can of coffee would be fine, thanks.
Well, maybe something bitter can cheer her up then. I decide on melon soda for myself and quickly return with the drinks.
Thank you.
We sit in a comfortable silence and slowly sip from our cans. It's a quiet section of the city. Only a few groups of the elderly and a jogger or two populate the park. This peaceful moment is the perfect thing to calm ourselves down with after all the excitement from before. After a while, I drain my can and languidly stretch as I stand up from the bench. You done with your coffee? I can throw the can away for you.
Yeah, I am, thanks.
I toss the cans into a trash can and I can't help but let out a yawn. I'm kind of sleepy after all that.
Maybe you should have bought the coffee, or maybe you should have bought coffee for yourself too.
Oh my god, Monika, please don't tell me that. I would hate to think that she loads up on coffee to kind of help her power through the day and get all this boost of energy to do everything she needs to just for her to crash later. Poor Monika. Oops. Maybe. Anyway, guess you should lead the way to the library then.
Right. I think there's actually a shortcut that we can take from here.
Monika looks a bit happier now, thankfully. We set off into the city again, but this time through an area with narrower streets that are dotted with trees. We're far from any places with heavy traffic now, thankfully. After slipping through a few alleyways and taking a detour through a residential street, we arrive at a small but modern-looking library. Hey, I recognize this street. We really are close to the school.
You shouldn't doubt me on these matters. I'm a regular here, so You can be sure that I know where I'm going.
She says that, but she actually hadn't when she first led me into the city. Well, I guess now's really not the best time to bring that up. That unique smell that books have hits me in full force as we step inside. Although the weather outside wasn't too hot, the air conditioning in the library is still quite chilly. Bookshelves upon bookshelves of various novels and referencing materials neatly line the walls. Monika rings a door. Well, you could ring a doorbell. Monika rings a bell at a desk, and an employee quickly bustles out of a back room to help her. I start wandering through the library as she speaks to him. It seems like they're quite familiar with each other, as I can even hear them exchange jokes as she hands him her USB stick. It makes sense that she'd be a regular here, though, since she probably needs to pass out a ton of handouts with all her leadership positions. Speak of the devil. That was fast.
Oh, I'm just waiting for the librarian to print out all our copies. Don't worry, it shouldn't take too long.
Ah, I see.
I was just thinking about how you're involved in everything at school.
You're the captain of the girls' tennis team and former president of the debate club, right?
Yup, although I'm definitely happy with my position as president of the literature club now.
I don't know how you can manage everything and still get good grades.
Huh, and I'm the class rep, too.
Man, do you ever stop to smell the roses?
I don't even have time to do that.
See, this is what I mean. It just makes me feel bad that she's like working herself to death, practically, and... well, I guess it shouldn't be any surprise to anyone, but as someone who always tried their best in school, and as someone who graduated as the 17th in their entire year, yeah, in a sense, I kind of know what it is to overwork yourself. Heck, even through my college master's program, that has been so stressful on me since I almost feel like I don't have time to smell the roses. And like I only have time to do my recording sessions at night. So that's why most of my videos are all recorded at night. Because in the daytime I spend that time doing stuff for school, you know. Maybe I'll buy you some so you'll have to smell them. Sure, let's go buy her some time. Oh. Okay. Okay, well I guess that idiom actually works here.
Wow, what a Casanova! It'll take more than one cheesy line to charm me, though.
Where that line came from, I don't know. But that was smooth. Orale Rob Thomas here being like, 'cause you're so smooth. At least, for me it was. Well then again, I still can't believe that I told Brianna Knickerbocker one time that she was hauntingly gorgeous, and she and her two mods on the stream actually said that that was kind of smooth, and I'm here like, I want to die right now, and I only wish I could be that smooth in real life. And she was like, no, that really was smooth, and I'm just here like, why did I do that? Oh right, because of Generica and Crush, and I was here like, oh, you know, I should probably just try that one time on someone who would appreciate that. And since she is like a queen of the horror genre, she knows so much about all the different horror movies out there, I felt like, you know, maybe she could get a laugh out of it. Anyways. Yeah, so there you go. There's a story of how I embarrassed myself and, well, I complimented one of my favorite voice actresses about how she was hauntingly gorgeous. And somehow did not die on the spot. Anyways.
Anyway, it looks like our pamphlets are done, so let's pay for them and get going.
We head for the counter where a tall stack of pamphlets lays. That'll be $27.95, please.
Oh, I should probably get my wallet out for this.
Monika opens up her school bag and digs around inside for a moment. Uh-oh. She lifts her laptop out of her bag and searches through it again with one hand. There's an awkward silence that starts to stretch out as both the employee and I watch Monika.
I swear I put it in here.
Her face has gone pale now, and it looks like she's flustered all over again.
It seems I've left my wallet at home.
It's fine. I'll pay for it. I hastily pull my wallet out of my pocket before Monika can say anything.
Daniel! You don't... Well, I'll pay you back on Monday.
Don't worry about it. I've got your back. It's only $20 anyway. 30. See?
More like 30.
Oh well, like I said, you don't have to pay me back.
Are you sure? I feel really bad.
I'm definitely sure. I don't go out very often anyway, so I have a lot of pocket money saved up.
Thank you. You really saved me there, Daniel.
No problem, really. It looks like the librarian's relieved that the situation's been diffused as well.
I'll carry all the pamphlets then, since you're the one paying.
No, we already agreed that I'd carry them all, right? That way I'm more than just an idiot. Or a idiot. We made a deal and everything. And don't tell me that you have altered the deal and pray that you don't alter it again.
At least let me carry half of them.
Oh, she obviously feels so terrible right now.
I was going to take half to bring home anyway.
You drive a hard bargain. All right, if you insist.
Hey, it's the least I can do.
By the time we start heading back to my place, it's late afternoon. Monika's carrying her half of the pamphlets in her school bag, while I'm using a plastic bag for mine. The day really flew by, and faster than I would have expected it to, given that we were supposed to be working all day.
You know, Daniel, I'm really glad that you decided to pick me to help.
I didn't end up doing anything, though.
Don't shortchange yourself. You did all that you needed to today. Plus, you kind of saved me twice there.
Well, to be fair, once was kind of to save you from owing the library any money. But the other one was like, Monika, you could have died, and just, oh my god, that was like, oh, it's fine. Really, as your friend, I'm here for you.
Thanks.
Monika clears her throat a little before continuing.
To tell you the truth...
Oh my god, are you going to tell me what you thought about me? Monika, why do you make me feel bad?
I wasn't exactly excited for you to help me at the beginning.
Did you think I was just going to be a burden to you? I guess that was my... So I guess my hunch back then was correct. What changed your mind?
Don't get me wrong, that was only my gut reaction.
So your distrust of my abilities runs that deep, huh?
You know what I mean. I only thought that for a moment, alright?
Alright. Alright then.
My reaction... It was probably because I've been let down so many times already. For all my life, I've always been the one to take charge in group scenarios and get the work done.
I see. So in a sense, it almost feels like you probably feel like you don't have anyone that you can rely on. Like, in a sense that you're in this all on your own. She probably feels even more alone than how I initially thought.
After a while, I guess everyone I worked with realized that they could slack off and leave everything to me, since I'd always get things done.
I hate group projects like that. Well, not the group projects exactly, but groups in group projects that are like that. They just dump all the work on whoever they think is like the best student and whatever, or the most productive worker, and they just slack off and they hardly contribute. So, I guess you're just so used to it that you automatically expect it to happen?
That's right.
You shouldn't stand for it, though. You should be telling these people off.
I can't help it. They never care, and I always care too much. This is just how things are.
Well,
don't try and lecture me on this, Daniel.
Jeez, Monika.
After all, weren't you one of these people not too long ago?
Oh, that's right. I've done the same thing before, too. Back when we were in the same class. I'd been in a group project with Monika once. She'd taken over as leader immediately, delegating tasks efficiently, and picking up the slack when needed. I just assumed that she preferred doing most of the work, given that she put out the best work out of all of us anyway. I feel kind of ashamed of myself now.
If I wanted this to stop, I'd have to change the way society itself works.
I won't say anything else to antagonize her for now. I'm not brave enough to do it, and I don't want to ruin the mood with an argument. Especially not after she just pointed out my own shortcoming.
Anyway, after I thought about it, I realized that I should be happy that you offered to help me. I mean, even though I'm kind of popular, most people don't actually help me with things like that. They just assume that I can handle it, and since I usually like to take on the hardest work myself, that gives them even less incentive to help.
As I thought, you work too hard, Monika. I'm glad that I got to help you today, and that I got to help take a little weight from your shoulders. Even if it was just a minuscule amount of weight that I helped relieve, I'm happy that I had the chance to do so.
Thank you, Daniel. Even though you called me reliable, aren't you the reliable one here?
It's nothing. I sheepishly scratched the back of my head. Hey, looks like we're back. Guess we're finished for today then.
I'd like to hang out a little bit more, but...
She checks the time on her phone, then sighs. Duty calls. Oh my... Well, sort of.
I have cram school in a bit, so I have to get going now.
Oh man, really?
Yes, really. I'll see you at the festival tomorrow. And thanks for everything today.
See you on Monday then. Bye, Monika. Monika waves as she sets off in the other direction. I really hope she gets there safely this time. I know. As I watch her leave, I have a strange feeling that I'm forgetting something. Ah, crap. With all the excitement of today, I totally forgot to ask Monika about Sayori. Man, now I really wonder how Sayori would have played into all of this. I feel like an awful friend now. I should be there for her. It's too late to ask Monika now, though. I can just barely make out that swaying brown ponytail in the distance. I'll just text Monika about it tonight. Hopefully she'll be out of cram school by then. Well. And yeah, well, I guess if we ignore a little bit of my tangents and whatever, I guess this is actually about the same length as any other of my Blue Skies videos. Okay, well then, I would like to say that I still have one more trick up my sleeve here, but I'm actually not even sure how to approach what I wanted to do for what I intended to be the second Monika video. So at this point, I guess you could say that I'm not entirely sure what to really say if this is going to be the end of the project. I guess all I'll say for now is that as far as the game is concerned, I've gone through everything. I even have all the songs now here, so exactly, I just had to go through the Monika events. I've unlocked the CGs, all of them, some of which I don't feel like I should share on this video. I've gone through, or I've made unedited and edited versions of the love scenes with Yuri and Sayori. The edited versions being on my main channel, the unedited versions being on ArdrethShadow, and I have gone through all of Monika's events, which kind of gave me a taste of what a Monika route could have been like, and I guess with that said, it's like, man, it leaves me feel like I wish I could have seen where this went, you know, like, I was really getting into it and everything. Basically, for what would have been my second video, I wanted to actually go through all the documents and kind of read out and kind of narrate some of the things that would have gone on and what they proposed for a Monika route, because to me it's actually pretty damn interesting, and I just really love the payoff at the end. So, but I think for the scope of this channel and my abilities, I guess in a sense you could say I'm limited by the technology of my time. I can't really promise that that video will be made soon, or maybe even at all, but I guess just know that, like, if you love the Blue Skies mod, please go on to their Discord and read the story notes for yourself, because, I mean, of course, well, you know that I definitely care about these four girls a lot and their stories from this mod, so, and I think Monika's is worth looking into as well. I mean, especially given how I'm like getting to see kind of visually how much she's struggling, and getting to kind of know her a little bit. It's like, at the very least, I think her story does deserve to be told, or at least known to some degree. And, well, I would like to be able to tell her story, but at least at this time, yeah, I'm unable to. Maybe someone else will pick up the torch for me? I don't know. Or maybe I can come back maybe some months or maybe years in the future and do it. I don't know. But we'll see. Okay, well, as I always say, I guess thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys next time with whatever else I do. Stay golden, you beautiful people. See? See what I did there? Anyways, well, stay golden, and later, folks. And thank you for watching, if you've made it this far.